Hi, this is Jill Cox in Idaho, and I'm so excited to introduce you to the world of Usborne Books and More. At Usborne Books and More, we have two publishers. We have Usborne Publishing in the UK and Kane Publishing based out of the United States. Usborne Publishing strives to help all children develop a love of learning and reading. The books are engaging, stylish, interactive, filled with all sorts of interesting facts, and just enjoyable for kids. It's no surprise that in both 2012 and 2014, Usborne Publishing was named the Children's Publisher of the Year. So often we hear from parents, I just love your books are my kids' favorite, because they are just designed to help kids catch a love of reading and a love of learning. And if they already have that, just feed that love. Kane Miller books are good for the heart. So we often say Usborne is good for the head and Kane Miller is good for the heart. Kane Miller's goal is to introduce children to the world through stories. And so those books are written in other countries and then published here in the United States. And we have everything from picture books for little ones to young adult fiction that do that, and very engaging and awesome stories. And together they're just the perfect combination for a well-rounded product line that we carry at Usborne Books and More. So I just want to start off by showing you some of books that just typify and characterize how great Usborne and Kane Miller are. This is the That's Not My series. If you have familiarity with Usborne books, most likely you have a That's Not My Book. This is our most popular series for babies. There's lots of little textures, lots of repeated phrases. Everything's outlined in black, so from the day that a baby comes home from the hospital, it can be read to these books and they can see it, and it helps with their eye development. And then again, the touchy-feelies are probably what make them most popular. So there's That's Not My Puppy. Now from Kane Miller Publishing, we have Muddle and Match, another great one for little kids. You can read it to a toddler through beginning school age kids even enjoy this one. This says, Pete the plucky pirate pleads with Percy his peculiar parrot to prepare to paddle the Pacific. So it really helps because of the alliteration. It helps them learn letter sounds. Also, because they can move these flaps around, they can make all sorts of silly characters and silly stories. No two stories are going to be the same. Really fun and engaging. This one's Muddle and Match Adventure. We have Muddle and Match Imagine, and also Muddle and Match Jungle. Now the very first Usborne book I bought 9 years ago was actually the complete book of Farmyard Tales, and it's remained one of our family's favorites. It's one of our bestsellers, and it's also a great value. This book has a CD. We actually leave our CD in the car so that we can listen to it there. Has a map of all the places that are mentioned in Apple Tree Farm. And then what makes this book so phenomenal is it's what's called a dual level reader. So you can just read this top line when a child has like a short attention span, you need to hurry at bedtime, or they're just not ready for a long story yet. You just read, this is Apple Tree Farm. On the farm there are 6 pigs. It's time for breakfast. As they get older, you're going to read the whole page. This is Apple Tree Farm. This is Moose's Boot the farmer. She has 2 children called Poppy and Sam and a dog called Rusty. On the farm there are 6 pigs. And so as they get a little older, like maybe about first grade, this is a first grade reading level here on the top, the child's going to read, this is Apple Tree Farm. And then an adult or an older sibling or someone will read that bottom line. And it'll reinforce what they just read, build reading comprehension, help them remember what they just read, and make them feel that they're reading part of a larger story. So it will grow with them from the time they're just a little tiny kid, they can't even sit still for a story, to reading independently at about 2nd grade. This book has 20 stories in it. It's what we call a combined volume. It has a ribbon bookmark, so if you're worried that they're going to want you to read the book every single night before bedtime, you can just say, we'll read 2 stories and then we'll put our bookmark in. And it's such a great value. Whenever you get a combined volume from Usborne Books and More, that means you're going to be saving money because they bind several stories together in one binding. Usborne excels at nonfiction. It's one of our real strengths. And this book is one of our beginner series. They're $4.99 hardbounds. They're about a 2nd grade reading level, but you can read these to preschoolers. And there's all sorts of interesting topics. This one happens to be poisonous animals. The text is broken up in chunks, so it's not overwhelming. Like the That's Not My books, and you'll notice that our pages are colored. And that helps children that have certain reading disabilities be able to focus on the letters so that they can read better. Also, it helps them because every time you turn the page and the color changes, it ignites their interest and kind of something happens in their brain, so it kind of sparks that interest again and keeps them engaged in it. Text is broken up in chunks, as I said, so it's not overwhelming. Our Discovery series is a little more advanced than that. And again, information is presented in interesting ways that the kids are really going to enjoy and latch onto. Nonfiction can be an awesome resource for you if you have a reluctant reader. Lots of times they just haven't found that they love fiction yet, but they are into nonfiction, and so that can be great. Expanding on that, like a level above that would be our encyclopedias. Most of our stuff for older kids is internet linked as well. So what that means is you're going to go to the website, type in the book and the page number, and it'll bring up games and activities and videos to expound on what's in the book. This one here is the science encyclopedia. We also have a geography and a world history encyclopedia. And they are just great for getting kids additional information for homework, or just lots of times kids read those. A fun reading series from Kane Miller are our Billy B. Brown and This Is Jack, Hey Jack series. Billy B. Brown and Hey Jack are friends. They have different personalities. For example, Billy is more quirky and spunky. Jack is a little more cautious. And they have all sorts of adventures. These are awesome to read when you want to read a chapter book to a preschooler and just kind of start introducing them to the chapter books. But they're also great for beginning readers who really want to read a chapter book. So often they want to be big and take that step, and they're just not ready. But these help transition them to that. And so for kids who do love Billy B. and Jack, we have an older series. It's the Billy B. Mysteries, and Billy B., Jack, and a couple of their friends form a mystery club, and it's the next level of chapter books. Something that Usborne does amazingly well is introduce children to classic fairy tales from the time they're really little. So, like, it starts with our big book of little stories where we have things like The Emperor's New Clothes, The Wind in the Willows, and Three Little Pigs and things like that. Just written in, illustrated in ways so there's not too many words on the page, and the illustrations are engaging. As they get older, our illustrated classics and stories for children are just phenomenal. This book includes classics like Heidi, The Railway Children, Black Beauty, The Secret Garden, and Around the World in 80 Days. And the illustrations make the stories accessible to the kids, and so that they can really enjoy those. Again, these are amazing to read aloud to little kids, or for an older child to read themselves. One of my favorites is the illustrated stories of Shakespeare that we have, and I was really surprised last summer to find my 9-year-old reading that book over and over again. And one day he said to me, "What's your favorite Shakespearean play?" "Mine's Twelfth Night." And I was just like, oh my goodness. I was so surprised because he's kind of a Lego science kid. His other favorite book is the Science Encyclopedia. And so for him to devour a Shakespeare book and have a favorite Shakespearean play just made me feel so good, and I knew that he was becoming a well-rounded person. The last thing I want to show you are some of our activity books, because this is another area where Usborne excels. So just for even little kids, we have our wipe cleans. There's alphabets, numbers, dot-to-dots, mazes, all sorts of things. They're educational and also fun, and you can reuse them over and over again because they're just going to wipe clean. So you're going to get lots of practice on fine motor skills and math skills and reading skills, and just be able to do that over and over again. They're also great for car rides and other boring times. We have our magic painting book. You just get this pen wet, and then you put it on the designs, and it's going to paint, like the old paint by water when we were little. This one is my son's, and these are some of the paintings he's done in there. You can also just use Q-tips. That's what we have our kids do with those. We have doodling and drawing books, tons and tons of art books. Usborne really excels with step-by-step instructions, and this one is a pocket-sized doodling and coloring. And then we're also very well known for our sticker books. We have sticker books for little kids and for older kids, and this one even includes a fashion design element to it. So thank you so much for watching. I'm so excited that you're venturing into the world of Usborne Books and More. I know that you're going to love these incredible books and that they'll make a difference in your family's life.